Merry Christmas! I'm Adventure Argonaut, and this is the Golden News. So, before I get to the news, let's see that the streams are actually running. That's always important when streaming, that the streams actually work, isn't it? So, Kick and Twitch are fine, Rumble is working, and Party is working. Okay, that's very nice. Everything is working. That is preferable to things not working. Okay, and let's get to the first stories then. So, another truck of peace in Germany. And, I was thinking that since now is Christmas Eve and it's Christmas, like, Finns like me, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, like, we give presents and all that stuff today instead of on Christmas Day. So maybe I should just, stick to Christmas cheer and find positive news. But positive news, come on, man. Do they even exist? So let's just, I made some Christmas themed images. But let's get to the story. So, attack on Christmas market in Magdeburg, Germany. Several people dead or injured. And that was, of course, 3 days ago. And it's interesting how they're using euphemisms. One killed and several injured after car drives into the Christmas market. The vehicle plows into crowd. Car drives into crowd. Car driven into crowd at Magdeburg Christmas market. Car driven. Car plows into German. A car has driven into a group of people at Christmas market in Germany, and so forth. It's like doesn't really say why the car drove there. Like, did the guy just go there to say hi to people, or was it an accident? Was it incidental with the intent of causing harm? And here confirmed, Germany confirms that the Christmas market Magdeburg attacker was anti-Islam, because initially it was reported, or at least speculated, that it was another Islamic attack, because they've certainly taken place in the past decade in Germany, especially, in Europe. Um, but this one apparently, I think the guy is like he's from Saudi Arabia or something, an ex-Muslim who's no longer a Muslim. But yeah, this person asked if he's an anti-Islam, why would he attack Germans in a Christian festival? They should track down every Islamist, blah blah blah. Well, is so yeah. What could be motivating him if that is true, that he was anti-Islam? Of course, this might be just trying to cover it up, but then again, maybe something else. Like, this is supposedly the guy, and his tweet in, I think this is Arabic, but it says translated from Arabic by Google. The religion of God is Judaism. So I don't know. Is an Arabic Jewish supremacist? That's what this particular alleged tweet from him would suggest. So that's weird, I guess. But at least I haven't seen, there's no community note saying that it's wrong. So yeah, this is the tweet in question, I guess. Okay, I guess I should do that. But yeah, and yeah, there's somebody saying, like, in the past 24 hours. Well, that was 2 days ago. 5 dead, 200 injured at Christmas market attack in Germany. 3 people stabbed in Oslo, Norway. A bomb is detonated in Stockholm, Sweden. Okay, I forgot to like double check these incidents, but yeah, what the hell is going on in Europe? Well, it's part and parcel of living in a multicultural society. That's what it is. What the was it the mayor of London said? But yeah, that's the news. I don't think there's even like much point now for me to go into the implications. I'm sure I've done so in previous. Hey, Baltier, GR, hello, Merry Christmas to you. So yeah, I don't want to speculate on the or like discuss the implications. Plenty of people have discussed them before. Let's just move on. I still have Christmas activities to attend to, so let's move on to the next story. So Jews caught diddling kids in Guatemala, or allegedly, I guess have to say, or something, is some weird sect of Judaism. Um, so let's look at the articles and then or the various accusations. Guatemalan authorities raid ultra-Orthodox Jewish sect, seizing 160 minors and 40 women amid abuse investigations. Like, yeah, and here it's even Associated Press um, linking to the news. So there's no community note saying this is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory or anything. So yeah, let's read this article here. Guatemala police clash with Jewish sect over 160 at-risk children. Authorities in Guatemala have resisted efforts by members of a Jewish sect to recapture 160 children rescued from its premises. The children were taken into care on Friday when police raided a farm used by the Lev Tahor movement, which is under investigation in several countries for serious sexual offenses. It's just interesting, like, why are they under investigation? Like, why can't they do something like, just since we talked about Germany, like, the authorities are banning or thinking about banning the AFD political party because it's Nazi. But even though it wasn't, they haven't really accused the party of being criminal or anything. But it's like, I don't know, like some, it's just some suspect that the crimes are the priority seems to be on stopping something that it seems like a crime, but maybe it's not. But instead of some, it's just like, oh, let's look into it. Okay, anyways, Interior Minister Francisco Jimenez said they were allegedly being abused by a member of the sect. But on Sunday, set members broke into a care center where they were being held in an effort to get them back, leading to scuffles with police. So there's Jews and police fighting in Guatemala. I don't know. This is like some AI generated comedy or something absurdity. Is there like a word for absurd comedy? Probably is, but I can't think of it. The Lev Chehor sect is known for extremist practices and imposing a strict regime on its followers. It advocates child marriage, inflicts harsh punishments, even for minor transgressions, and requires women and girls as young as 3 years old to completely cover up with robes. Well, it just sounds like Islam in this sense. But anyways, the set accuses the Guatemalan authorities of religious persecution. The community settled in Mexico and Guatemala between 2014 and 2017. In 2022, members of the set were arrested in a police operation in the southern Mexican state of Chiapas, but they were later freed for a lack of evidence. Okay. Mexico wasn't the isn't the current Mexican president a Jewish woman? Curious. The events began when police raided the set farm in Oratorio, southeast of Guatemala City, on Friday, taking the children into care. Okay, it's just have to remark in Canada there's Ontario, and then in Guatemala there's Oratorio. That's weird. Prosecutors said there were suspicions of forced pregnancy, mistreatment of minors, and rape. But 2 days later, about 100 of the children's relatives, all members of the set, gathered outside the center where they were being held to call for their return. So, okay, they are abusing their own children, not abducting other children. I guess that's what it means, which is, I guess, in some sense, it's a mitigating circumstances. Slightly, I don't. Some set members then forced open the gate and tried to abduct the children and adolescents sheltered there, the Attorney General's office said. Yeah, so I guess it's like their own children that they were abusing, according to the authorities, and they were taken away. Okay, but the children were intercepted by the authorities and put into a white minibus. Local media reported. Yeah, it's important. It's a white minibus, not green or yellow. With police help, the center managed to locate and protect everyone again, the Attorney General's office added. Officials had previously tried to check on the children's well being but were prevented from entering the farm by set members. Authorities estimate that the community is made of about 50 families residing in Guatemala, the US, Canada, and other countries. The Jewish community of Guatemala has issued a statement disowning the set, describing it as foreign to its own organization. It expressed support for the Guatemalan authorities in carrying out necessary investigations to protect the lives and integrity of minors and other vulnerable groups that may be at risk. So, okay, it is some, fringe sect of Judaism, so, you can't accuse all Jews of this, but anyways, yeah. So there's this Twitterer, this twat. We should all, I'm guilty as well. We should be called twats if we are on Twitter. So, anyways, did you know that Lev Tahor, the openly pedophile Jewish group, is anti-Zion? I'm not supposed to say the word on Twitch. I think the anti. Um, Israeli and anti-Israel. They just found 200 abused children cemetery full of ritually sacrificed children in Guatemala. Okay, I don't think the article mentioned this cemetery of ritually abused children, but that sounds like Carthage to me. From Rome and Carthage, the Punic Wars. Shlomo Hellbrands. Okay, this is like a either it's like a Jewish heavy metal band lead or like the main bad guy in some like let's say anti-Semitic RPG. Anyways, the founder of Lev Tahor burned Israeli flags and thought that Israel is racist. To this day, the group even sought asylum in Iran in 2018, pledging allegiance to Iran's Ayatollah. They reject the ideology because some Jews wish for a divine intervention for the Messiah, whereas mainstream Jews push for a man made and non divine prophecy and Messiah. These pedo Jews adhere to an exact interpretation of Jewish law, which is why they rape, force marry, and ritually sacrifice children. They buried them in the backyard. They've been kicked out of a bunch of countries, investigated for these same crimes, which is why they ended up in Guatemala for these very Jewish activities. So stop saying it's the people related to the hill of Zion because it's the Jews, according to this twat. But I'm just like, why do they keep getting kicked out of countries? Like, why can't, if these people are um, horrendous criminals, why aren't they arrested or, I don't know, executed or something like that? Like, why do they allow them to, just go to another country? That's weird to me because if I were to commit some horrendous crimes, I think I would just be arrested. That's strange. So yeah, this is 160 children were rescued from the Lev Tahor sect. Yeah, forced pregnancies, rape, blah blah blah. And yeah, there were the Guatemala's Attorney General confirmed the discovery of suspected child remains and bodies buried on the premises. There have been certainly allegations that other Jewish sects have had similar practices in history in various European countries. Like I'm not saying that they have, but it is interesting that no, I don't think Lev Tehor sect has been so all over the Western world throughout the centuries. So to earn the reputation for such practices. Um, Okay, they always do this. So there's some article from 2016, but they get caught every 2 years or so. They also do this in multiple countries. So yeah, ultra Orthodox Jewish cult raided in Guatemala over suspected child abuse. Yeah, this is even from Jerusalem Post. Yeah, Jewish cult plan to abduct Brooklyn kids again. Israeli child and father escaped cult after camp raided by Mossad and Mexican police. So Mossad and Mexican police, I guess, saved them. And it's like, why isn't this sect being, why is there like a big crackdown on it? Like, I think it's weird. Like, do they have some special powers? Are they like masters at conspiracy and espionage that nobody can, you know, just end the whole set? Like, I don't get it because I don't think it's, it spreads as easily as, ISIS or something, because it seems to be quite easy to recruit people for those. But this sounds like, more exclusive group to me. So yeah, and there's a video of these wonderful people. Like, that their behavior looks demonic to me. I don't know, like, and it is, one set. You cannot uh, equate it with all Jews or anything, but it's still, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird stuff, but at least it's good that the authorities are doing something about it. In this case, at least. Let us move on to the next story. So, Pope criticizes Israel. It's well, maybe he's part of Lev Tahor, because also Lev Tahor criticizes Israel. Well, I criticize Israel, but I am certainly no member of that group or any Jewish group. Anyway, so before delivering his Christmas greetings in the Roman Curia this morning, Pope Francis informed them, yesterday they didn't let the Patriarch of Jerusalem, Cardinal Pizzaballa, okay, that's a funny name, enter Gaza as they had promised, and yesterday children were bombed. This is cruelty, this is not war. I think I have another. Yeah, this is not war. This is cruelty. It's a different order, but the same word. I want to say this because it touches my heart. Pope Francis has today criticized Israel's strikes on Gaza, in which dozens of people were killed. Yeah, like I'm certainly no fan of um, uh, Pope Francis or Bergoglio, but it is interesting. He's saying some stuff that finally that I agree with. So that's good, I guess, or is it? I don't know anymore. And since it's Christmas, I have to remind Israel delenda est. Israel has to be destroyed because of the evils. Like the Pope said, I mean, he didn't say it should be destroyed, but that's. And of course, talking about the political entity, not the people, nothing like that. And okay, Trump still wants to buy Greenland. So yeah, I remember a few years ago, I think he started talking about it after his first term in office, that he wanted to buy Greenland, and he's still talking about it. Trump officially calls for the purchase of Greenland, stating for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the US feels that the ownership of Greenland is a necessity. So, but Denmark says it's not for sale. Um, Yeah, so I don't know what's the big deal with this story. Like, is it actually that it's just Trump think it's um, geographically the location is really good, or maybe there's some resources of you know ancient alien tech or whatever under the ice there. Who the fuck knows? Or maybe it's a bluff. Maybe he's playing kayfabe with the Denmark government or something, like wrestling stuff, that they're pretending to be at odds, but they're just, I don't know, doing as a distraction for some reason, or maybe some game, some blustering. I don't really know. I don't know what's but yeah, it is interesting. But even if I do find the notion a bit disturbing, like because I don't want um, United States buying land in Europe, really. Or, well, it's not like Greenland itself is not really in Europe, but it is owned by a European nation. And maybe he's gonna make an offer that Denmark can't refuse if he really wants Greenland. Not sure what he's up to, but I guess we'll see in a few months when he gets into office. Well, he's supposed to get into office in less than a month, but maybe that's not the first thing he's gonna do, buying Denmark. I mean, Greenland. Well, he might buy Denmark as well. Who knows? And a congresswoman has dementia. This is just, I don't know, a funny story. So just in missing Congresswoman Kay Granger, so I guess Texas, so it's Republican from Texas, I believe, who hasn't been seen for 6 months, was found living in a dementia care facility. She's been in office since 1997. She's 81 years old. Term limits. It's like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. Like, what does the government do in the United States? Like, missing 6 months, and then she has dementia, and it's like a joke. And some people still defend the system and whatever. I don't know. It's yeah. And somewhat related. Gasp! Could Biden be demented? I like the picture here, but no, say it ain't so. So supposedly there's some report breaking White House took steps to conceal Biden's decline, limiting interactions and putting senior advisors in roles that some administration officials believed Biden should occupy, per Wall Street Journal, I guess. So, like, I recall arguing with relative of mine, Libsard, back in 2020 before the election, that I said that, back then already, that Biden is clearly demented or has Alzheimer or something like that. And it was like, no, Trump has dementia or something. It's like, it was obvious already before he became president that he's not all there. It's like, once again, it's a joke. And not just to shit on America, but like Europe, that the politicians don't point out what a joke. How well, I guess you could take a different look at it, that how the will of the people, or the democratic representation doesn't work, because if Biden is really in charge, then who is? It's not democracy then, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, let's go to the next story. So, Putin is an anti-vampire bigot. I have few different stories. Not sure if they are how much they are supposed to be related, but hey, I managed to get the AI to create an image of Putin, which is pretty good, as a vampire slayer. Because getting at least with the Bing AI that I usually use, generating images of politicians is not so easy because there's usually some sort of restrictions on it. Anyway, so Putin says the vampire ball is ending. They are used to filling their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money and for centuries, but they must realize the vampire ball is ending. What do you think Vladimir Putin means by this? Yeah, I don't know like who he's talking about. What's the context?
Они привыкли столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров заканчивается.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen what the actual context is, and or are the subtitles even correct? Not sure about that. I assume they are. There's no community note. There's other Putin news. So Vladimir Putin on Ukraine Jews. These are people without any beliefs, godless people. They're ethnic Jews, but has anyone seen them in a synagogue? These people are without kin or memory, with no roots.
The people without any beliefs, godless people.
Они, этнические евреи, но кто их видел в синагоге?
They're ethnic Jews, but has anyone seen them in a synagogue? I don't think so.
Они вроде как и не православные.
They're not Orthodox as well, because they're not never present at a church, and for sure they don't follow Islam.
Yeah, so I assume he's talking about people like Zelensky and people like that in Ukraine, because of course Zelensky is Jewish, just coincidentally. What's this? And yeah, there's Vladimir Putin accuses ethnic Jews of tearing apart the Russian Orthodox Church. Yeah, I don't have the less the rest of this story, like the details to this, but interesting accusations. And here, breaking: Russia warns Israel against annexing Syria's Golan Heights. Yeah, I do think Putin is saying interesting things, and like I think last week I just pointed out how Russia banned the Satanic Church, whereas in America there's some school, was it in Ohio, that is like has some Satan Church activities, some weird stuff like that. So yeah, why is he the supposed enemy of the West now? Like I'm not saying Putin is perfect, but he seems more righteous than Western leaders. And okay, somebody tried to kill Nick Fuentes. Some guy came to his door with a gun. This sort of gunman who tried to assassinate Nick Fuentes, identified as 24-year-old John R. Lyons of Westchester, Illinois. So yeah, he has a crossbow as well and a gun. Okay, that's sort of cool. But yeah, I don't support assassinating Nick Fuentes or most people. I'm gonna say I don't support assassinating most people. But I saw some people claim that it wasn't like that he was necessarily targeting Nick Fuentes, that he had supposedly shot few more people before he arrived here, and I think he died in a shootout with the police afterwards. And Fuentes is fine, I believe. But so yeah, maybe he was just a crazy guy on a rampage. It's like actually when I heard the claim that he had shot some other people, it reminded me of at Cyberpunk 2020, the tabletop RPG, and at the CDPR's Cyberpunk, is it 2070 or something? The video game is based on that tabletop RPG. I used to play it with my friends when we were teenagers, and sometimes like nobody had really any proper idea for an adventure in the game, like not no proper plot or anything. So we would just play randomly, just go into some apartment building in the game, in the imagination of the game, and just start shooting sort of GTA style until the police eventually gunned us down, and just how far could we go. Reminds me of stuff like that. But this is of course in real life, whereas we were just playing a video, not a video game, an imaginary game. And then there's some interesting tweets from Elon Musk, um, or interesting tweet and some other stuff from Elon Musk. So yeah, so this Rothmas person says like this Podesta Clinton is a big ship, and Hanks Epstein is a medium sized ship, and then Diddy is just a small ship. So like I guess it's sort of Diddy is just the tip of the iceberg, another way of saying it. And then Elon Musk says, "Well, let's find out, shall we?" Yeah, I do agree with Elon Musk if he really wants to bring this all into daylight. I certainly approve of it. However, then there's stuff like this. No, this is also good news. Yeah, the traditional political party, Elon Musk saying, traditional political parties in Germany have utterly failed the people. AfD is the only hope for Germany, the Alternative für Deutschland or something, the so-called far-right party. But it's like, if Elon Musk is promoting it, I don't think it's going to be that far-right or anything or so radical. I don't necessarily support extremism, but I support radicalism, because radical just means a radical goes to the root of the problem instead of trying to deal with surface level issues. But yeah, but it is interesting that he's also saying this, like make taking a clear stand. Wait, okay. Then I forgot to post one story here. My apologies. I guess I just have to try to uh, recite it from memory. It was something that the like BlackRock was supposedly funding Grok, the AI, for Twitter or X. And if that's true, that's bad. And why would Elon Musk is supposedly the richest man in the world? Why would he need their money if he was really a true rebel who is against the system and the current elite and all that stuff? So yeah, but let's move on to gaming news. I have few different stories here under this one umbrella, like shorter stories mostly. So let's have a look. So CDPR admits original author Andrei Sapkowski was not consulted on Ciri's Witcher role in Witcher 4. Like, of course, they announced that since Witcher 4 is coming out, apparently Ciri is gonna be the main character instead of Geralt, however you're supposed to pronounce his name. And like, okay, personally, like I I've read like a couple of the books, Witcher books, and played a little bit of the first Witcher game, but I haven't played Witcher 3, which is supposedly the best one. Because in the book where I read, I think Ciri was just a little girl, but of course she's gonna grow up and stuff. So in that sense, like if Witcher 4 had like two main characters, like maybe two storylines, like one with Geralt and one with Ciri, I think that would have been a good way of doing it. Like and you couldn't, well, you could accuse it of being woke, but that's what many games used to do back in the day before nobody cared about such things, whether being pro or against it. But supposedly she's gonna be replacing Geralt as the protagonist. Like I think Geralt is gonna be an NPC or something there, but and of course, people have noted how much uglier she looks in the new game compared to the old one. And then there was also some, was it Chinese or, well, at least some Asian game that had like some special DLC with Siri, and she looked, much younger and prettier. So, of course, the, the lesson from this is, of course, that Witcher 4 is going to be woke trash, and don't waste your money on it. That's probably the the thing we should learn from it. And also here it's reported that politic posts about anti-woke and woke will be removed, and you may be banned from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Steam discussions. So about woke and anti-woke real politics. So this is some moderator on the Steam forum. These topics are forbidden here. If you post them or want to talk about them, do it here. Your post will be removed. You may be banned. Please keep this in mind before posting. Thank you. Let's all look forward to Witcher 4. But okay, like all of this I could have sort of accepted these, first all these lines except the last one, because like, yeah, sure, it's about Witcher 3 and you're supposed to be talking about the gameplay and stuff, but then saying like you should look forward to Witcher 4, but if it's gonna be woke trash, then you certainly don't want to you won't be looking forward to it. And yes, they should listen to their customers, like CDPR, that no, we don't want your woke trash. But of course, CDPR, I think they are taking the cock from Satan. I mean, money from BlackRock or one of those hedge funds that want to ruin everything decent. So yeah, CDPR. I guess it used to be a decent company, but haven't been really in 5 years. Because when the Cyberpunk, I haven't played the Cyberpunk game, but I remember when it came out, and I predicted that it's gonna be mediocre. It's gonna be okay, but because everybody was super hyped up about it, that it's gonna be the best thing ever, and then it was a buggy mess. But I think now it's fixed and stuff, and it's supposed to be decent. But still, people have pointed out it's not really an RPG. It's more like a story-based shooter or something with some RPG mechanics. Because yeah, I'd really want it to be an RPG, and it's like, okay, I really hated it when they announced that Keanu Reeves is gonna be starring in it, and I like Keanu Reeves. I think he's a decent actor and stuff, but I just don't want my games infected with real life celebrities too much, because it's gonna detract from the game itself. But yeah, let's move on. So Concord staff says the game was referred to as the future of PlayStation. Yeah, the biggest failure in gaming history. It's the future of PlayStation. So yeah, all I can say is RIP PlayStation, RIP in PlayStation, rest in peace. Because if that's the future of PlayStation, I guess there's not going to be PlayStation 6 or 7 or any of those. Yeah, I guess it's since they haven't had any games anyways in a long time. So that's except Stellar Blade, but that's coming on PC next year, I think. I don't know. It's just feels vindicated. Like, me being poor and then seeing how much money these idiots, these, incompetent hacks waste. It's like, it feels like, oh, maybe I'm like a competent person because I'm so fucking poor, and these incompetent people who only know their NPC ideology repetition, they get all the money to waste on pointless crap. And if I was given the money, I could do something decent with it. Even though I don't know shit about programming or anything, but I could do something useful with it instead of wasting at least $400 million. Okay, yeah, let's move on. So Frostpunk creators cancel Project 8 and lay off staff amid concerns that narrative-driven, story-rich games don't sell. Yeah. So my interpretation, I might be, completely off base here, but when I read this and still when I see it, um, my impression is that this Project 8 that they cancelled was gonna be some woke trash, and that's why they're canceling it. Not because it's narrative driven, story rich. Because, well, at least I'm pretty sure, Baldur's Gate 3 is story rich, and it sold very well. So, yeah, I do think, if you have a decent story, it's still gonna sell. So yeah, that's probably like you know. But hey, if they are canceling it for being woke, then I guess it means that the nature is healing, as they say. Even though partially, I don't want to see it. I really want to see the games industry collapse. I've been waiting for it 15 years. I'm not the kind of guy who really believes in soft reform. It's like if I see something is corrupted, I want to kill it with fire, and then let something new arise from the ashes. But if you can reform the games industry in a less dramatic fashion, I guess that's good too. And then De Nuvo, the anti-piracy parasite, it can on this new feature can invisibly watermark your game footage so publishers can track down leakers. So I guess it's like if it's a new, like some game that's not out yet, like you get access to the beta, or maybe if you're a journalist then you get early access to it for reviews, and then you leak it. It's like, well, I don't get early access to anything or like that anyway, so it won't affect me. But it's like I've been avoiding Denuvo for almost a decade. No, not perfectly, I do have some Denuvo games in my Steam list, but it's mostly because I bought some bundles with Denuvo games. But now I'm like even more. I'm trying to make sure that no Denuvo games end up in my Steam library or any other library. Now, I don't know. This is just Orwellian shit anyway. So like, uh, why can't people just make things that make spying on us less prominent? How about that? And yeah, this only 15. So this year, only 15% of Steam users have played released in 2024. But why? Okay, this is interesting because I checked. Because my own on Steam, you get your Steam replay, like shows all the games you played this year and so forth. And I new games from this year, like 10% of the games I played this year on Steam were new games, and so it's less than 15%. But I thought that it's it's probably higher than normally for me, and it's not so because I'm being non-binary and not buying anything or anything like that. It's basically because I like to wait a few years before buying a game so I can buy it half price, or 75% off or even cheaper. I don't want to pay $60 for a game if I can get it for $5 or something. So So that's the main reason I don't usually buy new games. But since I started streaming this year, I bought a few more new games so I can stream them before while they're still somewhat relevant. Also, but still mostly playing older games. Anyways, and then I checked my replays from the past 2 years. So last year, I think new games are only 1% of the games I played, but I think the overall Steam user score was 9%. So last year, people played even less new games than this year. And then, like in 2022, the numbers. I think like I played 5% or something, and the overall Steam user score maybe it was 13 or something. I don't remember for sure anymore, but and I didn't screen cap it or anything. But yeah, it's interesting. So this is unless this article addresses the numbers from previous years or I was given false numbers by Steam, then this isn't really even like big news. I think 15% is actually quite high. Um, yeah. Okay, we still have a few more stories. I forgot I have so many here. Okay. Exclusive Ubisoft financial turmoil points to what imminent bankruptcy in 2025. So Ubisoft apparently going bankrupt. That's good news. I hate Ubisoft. Ubisoft sucks. Yeah, this is the new face of Ubisoft and going bankrupt. That's poetic justice or something. And yeah, uh, Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake could be revealed next month. It's claimed. Like, okay, it is just a rumor as far so far, and I hope it stays that way. Like, why the fuck would they like make a remake? Especially Elder Scrolls is gonna have all sorts of mods to make it look nicer and so forth. And also not to Oblivion is the symbol of the current rot of the games industry because they had the notorious horse armor DLC. Like you had to pay $5 or something just to get horse armor cosmetic for your mount in the game, and that of course complete bullshit. And still apparently many gamers paid for it because since then DLC practices have gotten even worse. So yeah, for that reason only, if this remake comes out, I hope it's gonna crash and bomb and all that. And yeah, there's also the same rumor about the remake. Unreal Engine 5, people are shitting on Unreal Engine 5, saying it sucks, but most people, most games seem to be using it nowadays, which is unfortunate if it sucks. I'm not so knowledgeable about the engines and stuff, so I couldn't tell you if it really sucks or not, but supposedly. And the last story is not gaming news. So the New York Times, New York Times is wants you to deny the virgin birth of Christ. Well, I'm an agnostic. I'm not denying it or promoting it. I don't know, but yeah, this is. I just hate it when it's so like blatant. Like it's not like bringing since it's Christmas time and they bringing up stuff like that. A conversation about the virgin birth that maybe wasn't is clearly subversive politics. Like because some experts supposedly say that Jesus wasn't even born anytime near Christmas. Maybe it was like earlier in the year. Like one claim I heard that it was actually September 11th or something, which is weird if true. But that's another issue, like and these issues should be debated, but this article is clearly just being the current media being the subversive, shithole that it is. So this is, I find this offensive because, hey, I'm not somebody who accepts Jesus as my Lord and Savior, but I do consider the possibility that maybe he is. And And this Nicholas Christoph is clearly arguing in bad faith. I don't have to read the article to know that, nor do I want to. But with that, that's the last story for today. Yeah, Merry Christmas and all that stuff. Happy holidays and Israel delenda est, and what else? I don't know. Well, I'm thinking of sort of branching out to make a bit of different kind of content, outside of normal gaming streams and these golden news. And it is, the truck of peace in the German Christmas market will certainly, incidents like that will be relevant to that if I ever get around to it. Um, but yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Merry Christmas, and wherever you are, whatever your beliefs are, you should. I don't know. It's good to celebrate Christmas because it is, after all, a pre-Christian holiday as well. So you can. It's covered from all angles, whether you're Christian or not. You're allowed to celebrate Christmas. So yeah, with that, I'm Adventure Argonaut, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.